Hi, my name is Max Coisman. Welcome to this amazing beach from my home state of Massachusetts. I invented the Squirt, a device that utilizes ascidians, an invertebrate sea animal, to help clean microplastics out of our oceans. Plastic was invented a little more than 100 years ago. Unfortunately, previous generations have not used plastics responsibly, and there is a pollution crisis that threatens to destroy our environment and make our planet unlivable. A great example of this is the Pacific Ocean Garbage Patch, a collection of plastic garbage that is more than twice the size of Texas. And it's not the only kind of plastic in the ocean. Every gallon of ocean water contains more than 31,000 pieces of microplastic. Microplastics are dangerous as they increase the risk of developing diabetes and heart disease. So every time that you swim at the beach or eat fish from the ocean, you are unknowingly increasing your chances of getting these horrible diseases. Thankfully, nature has provided an animal that can help to reverse this problem. Ascidians are a jelly-like invertebrate that serve as natural filters. Normally, they filter foods like phytoplankton out of the water, but they can filter microplastics. As part of this project, I bought a species of ascidian, Polycarpa orta, that is available from stores that sell aquarium supplies, and tested whether they could remove microplastics from contaminated water. In my experiment, I made salt water and then introduced microplastics. You can't buy microplastics, so I made my own by cutting up polar fleece, which is made from recyclable water bottles, and running it through a blender. I put these microplastics in a small aquarium with ascidians and measured the amount of plastic over the course of a week. My research proved the fact that ascidians had filtered out more than 20% of the microplastics and were certainly working. My project did not stop there. I also wanted to create a device that could be used to introduce ascidians into parts of the ocean where they are not plentiful. I call this device a Squirt. Let me show you my final design. It is a container that can comfortably hold up to 20 ascidians and could be used to filter 528 square feet of ocean over the course of a year. Doing the math, that means it would take 2,000 ascidians to filter a square mile of ocean. Now that's a lot of ascidians, but not an impossibly large amount. It is supported by these soda bottles that help it float, and it can be easily retrieved. You can see I drilled holes through the container to allow for more seawater to flow through. This device costs $36. The container and flotation was only $12. In order to stay under the $50 limit, I only used one ascidian, which was $24. This Squirt prototype can only filter a small amount of seawater, but you can imagine a larger version that is 100 times or even 1,000 times larger. Of course, it took me several tries to build a prototype that would stay afloat and also keep the ascidians from being washed away or damaged. For example, this early version had plastic that was too brittle, and this device was too large, and the bottle couldn't keep it afloat. Like most inventors, I'm not satisfied with my creation. Here are some of the things that I wish I could improve if I had more time and money. 1. I would test multiple types of ascidians to see which ones were the most efficient at filtering microplastics. 2. I would use crushed coral as a surface for the ascidians to attach, so they aren't tossed around so much. And finally, I recognize the irony of the fact that I use containers and flotation devices made out of plastic for my invention. I investigated containers made of biodegradable substances, such as balsa wood, but they were too expensive and would have pushed me well past my $50 limit. Now, I recognize that what I did is probably not the most advanced thing in the world, invention-wise, but the main goal of my project was to connect cutting-edge scientific research with an invention that could potentially filter microplastics out of the water. In closing, I would like to say that I am not naive. I recognize that it would require a tremendous amount of time and money to truly affect the level of microplastics in our oceans, but it is certainly a goal worth working towards. Thank you.